Right, yeah. YouTube has this really shitty interface where if the web page closes, you're on, the stream breaks, and there's no way of getting it back. Sounds good, Arctic Sniper, if you can even hear or see this. But yeah, don't ask me about the mouse, because it turns out if you knock the button on the mouse that goes forwards or backwards on your web page, the entire stream breaks. Which again is a problem with how YouTube has the streaming interface set up. So, there's that. Right, Dan, it was you that broke the stream. You said, how's the mouse? I lifted it up to show you, and it knocked the button and it broke the stream because YouTube streaming things are crap. What's quite sad in it, Bravo? You've spammed it twice now. Well, as I just said, if you were listening, the problem is that because YouTube streaming software, like the inbuilt stuff, is so shit if you're not using something like StreamYard or OBS, as soon as something happens to the web page you're on, you can't resume the stream again. But yeah, it's a stupid shit just with YouTube's webcam stuff that because I lifted up the mouse to show somebody and it managed to hit the page back button on the mouse, that breaks the entire stream and you can't recover it. As I said, I'm only doing a short stream tonight anyway, but it wasn't meant to be a 5-minute stream. It was going to be about 20 to 30 minutes, but anyway, the thing I was showing that wasn't broken, I was saying that was the lens that came for the Cyclops anyway. And that works pretty well for what it is. Oh, shit, nearly broke that. Why, Josh, you just not come on them? But yeah, so this is much nicer than the previous thing I had. What do you mean by a pirate sword, Peach? You mean a cutlass? All right, good stuff. I hope you like it anyway. Oh, that's good, Justin Vapor. Better to have good news like that, isn't it, than the crap news we've all got at the moment. But I'm glad that's all right. Oh, hanger. So that's basically is a cutlass, isn't it? But yeah. All right, Radiac Maniac. All right, Soviet Gas Mask Collector, if you've got an important question, just ask it. But you already know, if you've been on the channel a while, and I know you have, that I hate it when somebody says I have a question and doesn't ask a question. All right, Mike, if you are off, that's all right, because like I said, I'm quite tired today just because I've had, a late night last night, a long day and a late night last night. I had to get up early today, and I've had a long day literally doing physical work today, so I'm already at the point of falling asleep now. Which Russian one, Stug? They're both Russian ones. The little small one, the Mini Ox, or the bigger one, which is a bit blurry sometimes when you try and focus it, but it's pretty good at light amplification. Air canister, they don't provide you with air, they're filters. If you mean an EO14, there's loads and loads on eBay. That's a onboard vehicle Geiger counter, but I've not got the probes plugged into it. But basically, you have a power supply lead going off one side, and then you can have two probes coming out of it that'll be mounted on different areas of the vehicle. So basically, you'd flick it on, and then you'd flick between which things. It's basically the Polish DP66, but a vehicle-mounted version. Depends what you want it from. Kathleen, Jack's grandma. If you just want it for virus type stuff, tear gas, that's fine. Actual NBC threats don't use an expired filter. Do it in 2 parts, Soviet Gas Mask Collector. Just put 1 of 2 or whatever and put your first part in. The East German helmet's one of the best steel helmets ever. It looks silly, but it's good because of the shape of it. Martin, mine all came from D&B Militaria, but something like an Abacan would probably cost you, if there was even one deact, which I've never seen. That would probably be like 5 to 10 grand, and in my opinion, that's a waste of money. But, you know. In theory, Holden, there's nothing stopping you, if you had machinery to make it, a water bottle sized thread. But the thing is, nobody makes gas mask filters that size because 40mm is the standard thing. Some sort of dye on it, anonymous cheese. I really don't know. But your mask shouldn't discolor a sink of water like that. I assume you didn't put the filter in, did you, with it? Because obviously if you did that, then that was a stupid thing to do and you've broken your filters. Well, you'd also need a mask that would be the right diameter, wouldn't you, for screwing in a water bottle? Because the issue is that the masks aren't made in that thing as well. So you need both a mask and the filters in that. And stuff you can make yourself is not going to be CBRN rated. So just to Scott M98, no idea then. The Scott M98 is some sort of butyl mix that won't leach stuff off. I guess there was some sort of dye on it when you put it in the water. I'll need to watch that, Mike. I've not watched that today, but that's because I've been busy all day. So, yeah, I'll watch your bottle cutting video later. All right, Nick. If you've got one, Edward, that sounds really loud, you'd need some sort of suppressor for it. That's your only option, because you're not going to get an air gun any quieter than it is without suppressing it. That's why a lot of air guns come with suppressors built on, weirdly. You're free to comment it at Soviet Gas Mask Collector, but it doesn't mean I'm going to see it, because obviously the problem is I get too many comments now to respond to. You can do a comment if you want. Do it on the night vision video. If you do it on the night vision video I uploaded yesterday, I can at least check it, because I'm not knowing what video it's on. Even if it's not related to night vision, do it on that one. Yeah, I did a load of his roof, Mike. Because the reason his roof is leaking again is just because of how much snow and shit's been on it. The bits of the roof I hadn't done because they were previously in all right condition have now deteriorated. Oh, the good news is, Mike, as well, I think my replacement crossbow's coming tomorrow. So hopefully I can finally get a video done on that. It's up to me when I cut my hair, not people in the comments. But yeah, my hair is too long, but it's not up to you to tell me if it's too long or not. You already know the answer to that, Comrade Doggo. But if you mean other people in the chat, then that's fine. But then that's just going to spam the chat, isn't it? All right, cool. Did you get the one with the radium scale in it, or the one without the radium scale? Holden Pop, in terms of gamma radiation, absolutely nothing, just because the very tiny amount of lead in, lead paint isn't going to stop horrible, horrible energetic gamma rays. All right, cool, yeah. So you've got a radioactive check source with it. Just be very careful with the radium scale. Not because it's really, really, really scarily radioactive. It's just because it's very good at contaminating shit and making radon gas. Yeah, I cut my hair though, Joshua, so it's all right. But yeah, I think some people either aren't thinking if they're like, "Oh, cut your hair," but yeah, I am going to cut my hair, but I can't be asked to do it at the moment because it's not like I'm going out, is it? Because you're not allowed to. No, okay, 9, it's not. I'm guessing YouTube's adding even more and more stuff to the list of purged words. I got my M50 for £50, but that's because I was really lucky and nobody else bid on the auction for it. Generally, you don't see M50s for any less than £100 at the best. Most M50s always seem to be like 200 to 300 odd quid or dollars. It will still leak radon, Soviet gas mask collector, because it's basically because the Geiger counter was never designed to be airtight, so it's going to leak radon gas. And but the thing is, Joshua, you shouldn't do that, should you? Unless you actually need to. Like, say for example, if I wanted to go shopping, I can go out, but you shouldn't otherwise go out because otherwise you're just risking unnecessary contamination. Because basically, unless you're going out to exercise or actually to go shopping, I don't think you should be out of the house, really. Yeah, you had it a week ago, Dan. Last week today. For using, no. For collecting, yes. For the shums. Well, it's an obsolete caliber, Monty, as you probably know. So it's not really good to dry fire it. Like, obviously, I've got snap caps for it. But it mainly sits in a safe. If you want to know what happens with it, it mainly sits in a safe. It's there if I want to use it for videos. But, I'd rather not degrade it any more than it already is. Regular coal is not radioactive, Blue Raven. It's only radioactive if it's been exposed to radon or similar. I'm tired, Spoopy Turtle, otherwise I'm alright, but it's just been like 2 long days in a row. And it's pissing it down now, so I can't do the night vision video today I wanted to do yesterday, and I couldn't do that properly yesterday just because it was literally flooding where I am because of, loads and loads of fucking rain and not enough drains that are maintained and whatever else. So that's annoying, Flazzy, if it notifies you're the one that broke partway into doing it. Right, Russian Spetsnaz, I hope you're not trying to be intimidating, because if you are, you're going to get blocked. If you're asking me, do I just randomly think they watch my videos, they might do, but they're not going to find anything illegal in them, because I'm not fucking stupid enough to film doing illegal stuff, am I? And yeah, Flazzy, the last stream broke because of YouTube's stupid thing of if you're doing a webcam stream and anything happens to the browser tab where the stream's in, the stream breaks and you can't go back and like carry it on. Even though I was like looking at several YouTube pages, I was like, yeah, I'm here, restart the stream, but no. PMK3 isn't the same as PMK1 and 2. PMK4 is very different. So no, not Alex. Oh, it doesn't say Mike. It just says live chat on my end. Let's have a look. Live chat. I don't even have the option of changing it, Mike. It's literally just live chat or nothing. So I don't know if it's on top chat or not. I really don't know, Mr. Jaeger or Mr. Jaeger. It will probably depend on how well it was done. Because if you didn't do it well, then no, it's just going to rip more holes in the rubber. If you very, very carefully did it with maybe adhesive, you could probably do it. I don't know. Yeah, Mike, I think maybe the chat's just really broken. I don't know. But, you know, there's been a lot of stuff recently with YouTube live streams that just do not work properly at all. You know, to the extent where it's really frustrating. I mean, I know you'd know this because you do streams, but, you know, where you just want to do something and just something won't work or won't integrate properly or whatever else. I'll stop playing with that night vision monocular now. But yeah, so it's typical. I get sent a Gen 3 night vision unit to do some videos with, and then it's been raining non-stop since I received it. Well, firstly, there's no such thing as a GP6 Breaky Man, but if you mean a GP5M, the best thing you could probably get is that like bike tire repair kind of stuff. Yeah, and I think the idea is, well, some comments are better than others, but how the YouTube algorithm decides what's a good comment or not, I don't know. Yeah, that's the problem I have with them, Flazzy. Like, the thing is, it's not fair for people who watch the channel never to do public streams, but every time I do them, it's just like, oh, the chat's being spammed with, like, stupid memes and things again. Oh, I just want to do a members stream and chat with people. Or as in art as in painting, Russell? No, I can't paint for shit. If you mean like listening to music and other sorts of media that could be considered art, then yes. But if you just mean art simply as painting and stuff like that, then no, I'm awful at it. Well, the Chinese panoramic masks are generally fine. What do you mean by an Avon A4? There's the Avon S10, the Avon FM12, the Avon CT12, M50, FM53. What do you mean by an Avon A4? Is that one of the weird escape hood things with weird names? But well, they're completely gone now, Russell. No, the closest I've seen to anything like that, Monty, is what's it? There's the Black Country Living Museum, isn't there? Which is pretty good for like being like an old sort of 18 something hundreds sort of reenactment type village town place. But I've not been to any that are like, say, the US sort of in the 1600s sort of thing, if that's what you mean. Well, Joshua, as I said, every once a week we go out to do essential shopping. I believe it is, Mike, yes. Especially if you consider some of the stuff you see in modern art, I think, The Forshida A4 is not made by Avon. Oh dear. I've done a video on that, Nicholas, so watch the video on it. For literally all the people saying, where did you get this mask? Where did you get that mask? Generally, 98% of the time, eBay. 1% of the time, physical army surplus stores. 1% of the time, other random, private sales or army surplus sort of websites. If you're going to say the C50 or the S10, the C50 by a mile, the fit problem is the M50. As a civilian, you won't be able to get filters easily for it, so it's not any use of to you whatsoever. You can't really make it get a better fit, Mr. Jaeger, unless you buy a smaller size. Yeah, Mike, that's the funny thing, isn't it? Oh, it's illegal to exchange sex for money, says the government, unless you're filming it for distribution. Yeah, Richard, I think the chat seems to be breaking quite a lot tonight. The first stream broke because of YouTube doing the thing of, whoops, if the window closes or, the tab closes or reload you're doing a video on or stream on, that's the stream gone. I did not know, Monty, that there were full-on Wild West towns in the UK. That sounds great, but I bet they're all closed at the moment, aren't they? I doubt you'd get any at that price anymore, Russian Spetsnaz. So yes, that's a very good price. Thank you, Chocolate Muffin HD. They're not made anymore, DF. I refilled it myself though, and it works fine. But no, I'm not going to show it again in case it falls apart. But yeah, I just bought really good sort of aquarium quality charcoal to fill out the rest of it with, and then I put a couple more particle filters in it. So it has a better particle filter sort of protection level now than it used to. But the charcoal's probably not quite as good as, proper factory impregnated charcoal. But yeah, Hype said when he looked for me, the factory doesn't make them anymore because they're just making FFP freestyle masks and filters because that's what the demand is because of Corona. But yeah, I've sort of seen a similar thing, Stug, weirdly, because there was, when the old stream broke, I was seeing a minute later people still asking questions as though the stream was working. So yeah, maybe the YouTube streaming servers have just sort of broken horribly tonight. Not that I know of. I mean, I don't see why there'd be any use for prop filters. I can understand if you wanted to use them for films or cosplay type stuff, but nations have no sort of use of building them themselves. Well, as for storing check sources, Soviet gas mask collectors, store them in a safe. As for protect yourself against radon leaking, a well-ventilated house. That's it. Basically, radon is one of those things of, if you're in a high radon area, you need to pay to have good ventilation. If you don't have that, then you're going to live a short life. That's basically the simple answer. Because I don't want to be one of those people that does a load of bullshit of oh, you could buy some magic charms that increase your protection from radon. But yeah, if there's any radon getting into you, it's bad. The more radon, the worse it is. If your house isn't ventilated and radon's building up inside, the life expectancy of the people in the house is going to cut down. That's as simple as it is, sadly. Again, there might be ways that you can cheaply ventilate a house better, but in all honesty, if there's radon around, you don't want to be around it. you always get a bit occurring naturally in background radiation. But, you know, if you're getting a serious amount of radon building up in rooms, something's gone horribly wrong. What sounds like an MMO game. Yeah, that's the problem, Joshua. There's more people going out, despite the fact it's worse now than the first lockdown, but nothing we can do about it. Oh, that's pretty cool, Renzo. I didn't know the Dutch army used them. I suppose it makes sense for training. Yeah, I wasn't really thinking about that. Right, Mike, the reason that's wrong is simply because where I unplugged it for yesterday's members stream, I need to get the remote for it to reset the time on it. So I'll just unplug it again for now. But until I find where I've put the remote for it, it won't read the right time because it doesn't remember the time when you unplug it and plug it back in. Oh, what stats and magic crystals? Sadly, you can find people that believe in stuff like homeopathy online, often telling people that it's good for them to eat poisonous substances. I wish I was making this up, but I'm not. I did like in a recent Dr. John Campbell video, though, where he basically almost completely lost it at homeopathic nutters. I'd mostly agree with that, Nick. I mean, I can understand, like, for some of the very basic stuff, why they wouldn't want to keep replacing the filters, but you think they could just give them expired filters for that? Right, anyway, I'll stop playing with this now because it's getting a bit hard to stop just touching the camera lens on it. There we go. Yeah, Mike, weirdly, on eBay, I won't tell people exactly what they're called because I don't want to encourage people to buy radioactive materials from charlatans. But there is a thing sold as something like healing massager wand, which is meant to basically be a butt plug sort of, dildo type thing. And it's literally something with radioactive powders inside it. I don't own I don't own any myself, but I know some people who have bought them and tested them, and they confirm that they are definitely radioactive. You know, those negative ion healing items, which basically means it irradiates you because it's radioactive. Depends what surplus that is, M1C Austin. If you mean stuff like the Radiacs, they have an amazing smell. I could huff a Radiac all day, personally. Anyway, I'll be off fairly soon because I've been on half an hour now on the stream. And my eyes are actually feeling really heavy now. See, now the comments coming up now are from like 2 minutes ago when I spoke, so the stream is definitely desynced. I don't really know what you want me to tell you, Soviet gas mask collector, to protect yourself. I mean, if you're really worried about it, don't collect that sort of stuff. Like, the best I can say to you is store everything in a well-ventilated room inside a safe, or like an ammo box with maybe some lead sheeting in it. But the point is, if you don't have anywhere to safely handle radioactive sources, don't buy them, full stop. Right, you won't be on Twitch tonight, Mike. That suits me fine, because as I said, I reckon I'm going to fall asleep within an hour, just because I'm almost nodding off now. I've not watched Tenet. OK9, I didn't have any plans to watch it, so now I can't identify the Master 4 unit. I think there was some M50s in the trailer or something, wasn't there? But I've really got no interest in watching the movie, so you know. No, baby, I've got no interest in getting like reproduction uniforms from yeah, it's legal in some countries, comrade, to do it, but the point is, if you don't know how to handle it, don't get it, full stop. You know, if you know what you're doing with it, there's no harm, but now, litter picker, that comment has come through exactly when you said it did. So that's worked. But lots of the others seem to be very delayed, as in I say something and then the comments are like 2 minutes later. Anyway, I'll head off because, as I said, I'm quite tired today anyway, and it seems that the stream's quite desynced with the comments. Yeah, I definitely agree there, Inductive Tea Cake, especially things like radium painted stuff if it's not in any sort of container. I don't have an air pistol on my wall. There's no air pistol up there, so I don't know how you can be asking me what an air pistol is on my wall when there's not one up there. There are masks behind me, and some, dosimeters and things like that. Right. But yeah, like TK, I definitely agree with you. The most dangerous sources are definitely the ones that, can turn into powder and essentially go anywhere. Because then the chance of ingestion or inhalation or just accidental spreading of them everywhere goes everywhere, doesn't it? When a source is basically a sealed thing, so you've got like a bit of metal or a bit of plastic, and you always know that's going to be radioactive, but otherwise it's not going to do anything else. They're quite safe because you just store them where the radiation can't get to people. But yeah, in terms of like sources that are falling apart, especially old radium painted things, they're, I'd say, the worst for that. They're the ones you really have to worry about. Or like I'd say you do have to be a bit careful with some sort of pitch blende things as well, just because I found a lot of pitch blende rocks can often be quite crumbly. I mean, I know they're only natural levels of radiation, in a sense, pitch blende, but still, you don't want to have it going randomly in your carpet or your surfaces. Let me just try something before I go off. I am going off now, but I want to just do the pop-out chat thing in case the pop-out chat is going up faster. Oh, and the pop-out chat is even slower than the current chat. So that's even worse. When I opened the pop-out chat, it was even lagging even further behind. Right, you're all a minute behind now, where you're saying 2047. I don't have an air pistol behind me. I don't know what you're saying. I can't see one behind me. There's literally no air pistols behind me here. The only proper air pistol I've got is stored in a drawer down there, so you can't see it. Right, I'll just go through with everybody what's on the wall. A gas mask sign, some Soviet gas masks, some dosimeters. There are some torches and other crap and bags on there. Some filters, like chargers and mug. Loads of other crap I need to sort out. More Geiger countery type things, radiation detectors. There's no air pistol there. Right. Yeah, change the name from Sellafields from Windscale. Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, that's like you said, inductive taking. That is a Canadian Radiac simulator if he was on about that, but I don't see how we can confuse that for an air pistol. Yeah, unless he thinks the carry handles on those meters are actually like handguards on pistols. I really don't know what he's looking at. Anyway, I'll be off. If you leave a comment, Soviet gas mask collector, I'll try and reply to it tonight, if not tomorrow. Like you said, if it was too long to post on here, and I'll try and answer it. Radiac, before I go off, it's unplugged because the time is wrong on it, and everybody was complaining about the time being wrong on it. So I unplugged it so they couldn't complain anymore, because I can't, I couldn't reprogram it without finding where I've put the remote. It's definitely one of the drawers down here. I know that because I reprogrammed it not too long ago. But the point is, I'm not going to spend 10 minutes looking for the remote on the stream. Right. See you all.